Warped Tour 2015 up in Mesa, Arizona. This is a very nostalgic interview for me. I moved out, a little backstory about me, I moved out to Arizona in 2010 from Poughkeepsie, New York, and when I tell that to a lot of people out west, it's where and how do you spell that? But, you know, when I make mentions of bands that have come out of that area, one that everybody always goes, oh, yes, is Matchbook Romance, and very excited that you guys are on this tour. We've got Ryan and Andrew. Guys, welcome to Arizona.
It's hot.
Yeah, it's hot, but it's great to be here.
So many questions are running through my head right now. So, the band's back together. Is this just for the run of Warped, or are there future plans?
We don't really know yet. We got offered this opportunity. It was kind of initially just like a feeler offer. Like, would you like to see an offer in a couple months? And we said yeah. And the offer came in, and we kind of just were like, well, we can't do the whole summer. People's schedules and stuff. We'll do half. They gave us a good offer. We said yeah, and we're just kind of taking it as it comes. You know, not every band, you know, is in our situation where they don't really know what's next. Most bands are scheduled out 6-9 months in advance, and that's not us right now. Our lives aren't going to let us tour again this year, but we might do some one-offs. We'll see what the future holds. I mean, we'll just be honest. We really don't know. Yeah. We're just having fun right now, you know?
Yeah, as Matchbook history has shown, we've reunited on multiple occasions and done very short runs, and then, you know, separated again, and nothing ever, came of it. But this time it was just more about a reunion and letting fans that are in other parts of the country that have been dying to see us since we broke up to be able to, you know, touch base with those guys and play for them. And then who knows, like Ryan said, it'd be great to do more music. I think that would probably be the priority over touring and really doing anything extensive, yeah. But we'll see.
You guys are musicians. You're always writing. You're always coming up with ideas. You're creative people. You can't not be thinking. Are there some ideas in the works? You're like, maybe this could be the third Matchbook album.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, we have some demos. There's a couple,
yeah.
But nothing that has really blown our faces off. I mean, they're good songs, but we need time together as a unit to groom it, and that's a challenge because geographically we're kind of spaced out. We got one in Florida, one in Nashville, 2 in New York, and work schedules. So it's a challenge. We'll see though. We'll see.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like in preparation for Warped Tour, I was home in New York. I got together with just Andy and Aaron. It just happens. We're like, okay, cool. We could play the old stuff, but yeah, check this thing out. So like, it just kind of happens when we get together. If we could get into a position where we have the time and we could have the right headspace and do it, ideas just flow. Music just flows, and as a group, we kind of push and pull the ideas back and forth off everyone's head, and it becomes a song. It's a very collaborative process for our band, and it's fun. It's different than a lot of people, but it's us, and it would be awesome if we could get to do it again and find that space to do it. Because I mean, that's it's fun to go out and play old stuff, but it would be so much cooler to show up and also play 1 or 2 new songs.
Oh yeah.
Or a whole album's worth. Like
that's what it's all about.
That's how it started. Was writing music, not just playing old stuff.
So I mean, going way back, and these questions are only because I never had a chance to really sit down with you guys. When I knew you guys in Poughkeepsie at WRV, I was the low man on the totem pole. I was that guy Shmonty, not Shmonty, someone who actually, well, I don't really matter. In my own mind, I matter. I really do. But so the difference between, album 1, Stories and Alibis, and Voices. Voices is my favorite out of the two. If I had to pick a favorite child.
Mine too.
I mean, where were the it was years ago, but where were the different headspaces? You know what I mean?
Oh my God, I don't even know. After Stories and Alibis, we weren't jamming in a garage or a basement anymore. Just taking our time, fleshing out music. Voices was a struggle. It was written on tour. We took some time off to write. It was it was a looming deadline. We knew we had to have music, and it was something that I don't know, just forced us to feel like we had to keep cranking out music as fast as possible. The styling totally changed. I think we kind of matured a little bit as as people, and that really came through on that record. And the darkness, Stories and Alibis was dark, but it was still happy. I mean, it had some upbeat stuff. Voices is just like off the deep end in terms of depth and dynamics and things like that. And I think that was just because, I mean, I know I was pretty beaten down on tour constantly. I felt like, my love life was falling apart and stuff. It was, relationships were, being severed and things like that because of being away. And I don't know. I think that came through.
Yeah.
I think that was the stark difference.
And one of the things about it too is, like, if you listen to Stories and Alibis, that's a little bit of an eclectic record too. You have songs like She'll Never Understand, it's very pop punkish, and then you end up with like Shadows Like Statues, which is more like that post-hardcore, like, kind of like Thursday-esque Full Collapse sound from the early 2000s. And it's like some of those songs from Stories and Alibis were before we got signed. They were written, and they kind of like steamrolled from years before. So, like, for example, She'll Never Understand was written at least 2 years before we recorded the record.
Yeah.
But, like, Shadows Like Statues was the last song written. It's probably the most song that, like, sounds like Voices. And then you stick us out on the road for 3 years. 3 summers of which are on the Vans Warped Tour. That's like 300 bands that we got to find out about right there. You're playing all the time. Your skill level on your personal instrument rises, so you write a song and then you start filling it out with the personal arrangements, and everyone's seeing and experiencing music from different places because we've been to 5 continents now. We've been all over the world. We've experienced all these different flavors and all these different colors of life, and it just changed us. And they were recorded 3 years apart, and the songs were just written and written and written and written, and we just kept growing from before even Stories and Alibis was recorded. We were growing towards Voices, and it just kind of happened that songs from like 2000 ended up on an album from 2003, and it kind of adds to that spectrum thing. It makes it a little more eclectic,
I mean, that's an album that, and you, well, I'm sure you know these guys because I think they had a hand in your early years. Jerry Terwilliger over at Planet New York Tattoo. Through numerous times of Johnny C stabbing me with needles, we would talk about just different things, and that album, John will argue that it's one of the best albums he's ever heard musically. Really? Note for note, beat for beat. There are many albums out there, few can hold a candle to Voices.
Really?
And Voices, to me, is an album that I can turn it on the iPod, throw it on the CD, whatever, and it can go around again, and there's something new, whether it's the vocals, the bass lines, the drum fills, the guitars, the harmonies. Something stands out. You know what I mean?
That's neat.
And so it timeless, I guess, is a good way to describe that. I don't know if you ever had that pinned to it before, but...
Wow. Yeah, that's incredible. I don't know. That made my day. Thank you.
Yeah, made mine too. And I think John Goodmanson, the producer on that album, we had a lot of talks with the label and management about who's going to do the second record. And we picked John for a couple of Blonde Redhead records and a couple other records he had done in the 90s. They're just smashing sounding and had like a distinct vibe. And he really helped, he put himself in the group, and he really helped us sonically take our vision and really put it down on CD. Yeah. Because, I play bass. Yeah, I know how to record some music. I can use Pro Tools, but I am not going to make the bass sound that freaking awesome. And I'm not going to make the guy was a wizard, and he really put himself all in with us. And it was a great experience working with him. We lived at that studio like 24 hours a day for 5 straight weeks. So it really just kind of ended up with a whole vibe and a thing to it. And it's so cool to hear the Planet New York dudes think that, because Jerry, like you're saying, Jerry was in a band called Pound, as you well know. And, they did collective soul tours, they did stadium tours. And he connected us with our lawyer that negotiated our Epitaph record contract and was probably the most powerful and intelligent person on our team for our whole career. Oh, yeah. So smart, he got his legal fees worked into the record contract so that we didn't have to pay him to negotiate our record contract. Epitaph Records paid our lawyer for us because he's that smart that he got it in there. And it's just like, thanks, Jerry. And, you know, I used to sit there and get tattooed by Jerry. I got a whole leg from the knee down of him. And we would sit there and talk about what's coming up and how we need to handle it and get great advice, real advice that I still give to other younger artists to this day. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
You talk about Pound, you talk about Matchbook Romance. Let's throw Coheed and Cambria in there as well. These are, in my opinion, some of the bigger, the biggest bands that put the Hudson Valley on the map. I mean, who are, maybe they're the up and coming bands, because I mean there were tons of bands when I was doing the local music show. I mean, you personally and Jeff Menig were just feeding me bands. Hey dude, play this band. Hey dude, play this band. And I was just sitting there looking like a genius, going, I'm playing music. Look at me, you know. I mean, who are bands that at the time were it for you, or maybe they're coming up out of that region that are doing it for you now?
I think I've been pretty out of the scene, to tell you the truth. Yeah, I mean, bands from our area, I couldn't even tell you. I think Ryan is more in touch with.
And I live 1,000 miles away still.
Yeah, Ryan, I think, has always sort of had his fingers on the pulse of the scene. So
the one to watch right now that's gonna, I think they're gonna trump all of us. I think you're gonna do it. It's Against the Current. There's We Are the In Crowd, who you're probably familiar with. Mike Ferry, the bass player at We Are the In Crowd, his younger brother, Will, who you also know, is the drummer of Against the Current. And a bunch of kids that, like when we used to do the Battle of the Bands at Fed Bamboozle and all that, these kids used to win it, like all the time. And now they're 19 and 20 years old. They are signed. It's like they are a major record label's #1 priority for the year, but signed by the independent subsidiary. They're about to have a huge year. They're out in LA getting ready to do their record in a month. They're doing co-writes and stuff right now, and it's like, they're going to do it. They want to play the pop game. They want to do co-writes. They want to wear the cool clothes. They want to do the runways. They're not trying to be what we were, where it was more of like a passion of our art. It's like, it's not that they're selling out. It's just they want to play that game, and that's a fun game to play. You know, we were just more punk rock and DIY about it. And if I could go back, hell, I'd be like, listen, dude.
Everything's
for sale. Everything's for sale. You want to wrap the bus with a picture of your daughter's face? Okay, 80 grand. But you know, they're doing really well. Of course, Take One Car is still out there doing their stuff. They're doing awesome. But Moving Mountains is doing really well.
What are they up to now?
I'm not sure where they're at this year. I've been so focused on our damn year.
Yeah.
How selfish of you.
I know.
Dude, man, it's so, we're first time in 9 years. A lot of triple checking each other and make sure we're not forgetting anything. But and also there's a new band called Red Owls. It's some of the dudes from Anna Divine and Nightmares for a Week, and a couple of the members of the Ataris, and like the dudes from the Hudson Valley. And it's kind of like old school, like faster punk music, but like the stuff that would have been on radio, like Alkaline Trio-ish. And they're getting ready to drop their record sometime this year. Once they find their fourth last member guitar player, it's off to the races for them.
So now for you guys, first Warped Tour was when? What year?
03.
2003. And now it's 2015. First Warped Tour perspective, if you can still remember it. I know there's been many years, probably lots of partying, lots of good times, lots of bad times, whatever. But now you're the seasoned vets. And like you said, there's all these younger bands on the tour. I mean, walking around these past 4 days, what's it been like for you?
It's been a little mind-blowing. It's brought back a lot of memories. The first day we got here, I was quickly reminded how hard it is to do something as simple as just brush your teeth.
Yeah, walk a mile to a bathroom to floss.
You know, use this water, don't use this water. You know, we're fortunate to have a shower on our ride this time around, so that's luxury.
Working hot water?
Yes. So, I mean, there's really nothing more you could ask for. That and AC that works. But yeah, it's been pretty crazy. I've seen some bands in vans like we were that first year, and just remembering what it was like, the 200-mile shifts that we had to do for driving. You know, you always had to have a co-pilot straight through the night. These drives are, you know, some were like 10 hours through the night. So that's a lot after you just spent the whole day in your van, baking in the sun, trying to run your merch table, loading it up, getting in the van, and driving. all night, and you know your shift is coming up. So yeah, it's been pretty mind blowing, and I feel old.
It's funny because I did Warped Tour 2013 where I drove a band, and you know, I've seen a little more of the transition to the modern Warped Tour. Like, there's basically like an electronic dance music stage. And yesterday, I'm walking by, there's like these girls. They totally were wearing like what you would picture like calisthenic, like yoga, like video instruction ladies, like yoga pants and athletic sports bras, but they're all like matching and glittered up. And it's just like 3 girls in the front with microphones dancing and a DJ in the back. You know, it's like, what is going on? A, these girls are smoking hot. B, these girls have moves. C, how the fuck is this on Warped Tour? Yeah. Like, this is so, like, this is like how, why is this not like, you know, like K-Rock Fest or something like that? You know, like, why is it not on like the Pop Summer Festival Tour? Why is it on the Summer Punk Tour? But, you know, it's growing. And it's funny because a lot of the people that are out here from the different genres of music still have that punk mentality and ethos to them, so they fit in well. But it's cool. I mean, a lot of bands watch us play. A lot of people come up and tell us that, you know, you inspired me to be in a band, and I watched your set yesterday. I'd never seen you play before. I'm from England. I never got a chance. You're like, wow, it's cool. And it just reminds me of when I was like the nerdy whippersnapper, 22 years old, 23 years old, being like, oh, Dropkick Murphys, you guys are the best. You know, like,
Did you really sound like that?
No.
Might have creeped him out a little bit.
Man, Dropkick, we're on the same label.
That's why the restraining order's out right now.
Yeah, right?
Speaking of which, Aaron Stern's not here.
Yeah.
Is it from what I said the last time he and I spoke? I'll let him tell the story and work the lawyers into it, because I don't want to have to go back to court with Aaron. He has a vicious legal team. We'll just say that much. No, but you were talking about how kind of on the walk over here to the air-conditioned tour bus, how playing this Warped Tour is giving a chance to all the fans who never got to see. I don't like the term breakup, because if you're back together, it's a hiatus. Can we say hiatus? Is that okay?
Yeah, it was a hiatus.
Yeah, technically it was a hiatus.
So I mean, so for all these people now, they're getting a taste of it, but. When was the Poughkeepsie show? When was the Chance Theater, the last leg of that short? It was a short northeast run.
Yeah,
I don't remember what was that.
Something, 2012.
Okay.
It was the Glamour Kills Holiday Fest. It was like December 12th or.
No, couldn't have been 2012 because I was out here.
Okay, so the 2009 one we did.
There you go.
Was in May of 2009.
Okay, yeah, you know what? Because I remember being in the rafters of the Chance in the back on those couches they have up there in the second tier, sweating my ass off. It was you guys in Just Surrender.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
That's the 2009 ones.
So back to that night when you play a club like the Chance that has so much history and meaning for you guys, and to look out, and that's no small venue when it's a full house. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's a great feeling. I mean, but we got a lot of history with the Chance. The Chance itself has a lot of history, but yeah, it's always been a good feeling to play there. It's always nice to know that there's so many local supporters and fans, and yeah, hopefully we'll get to do that again at some point in the future.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a proud moment to sell out your hometown venue. I mean, especially like in an area like Poughkeepsie where there's like the Chance, the Civic Center, and then there's like, you know, up in Kingston, UPAC. But other than that, there's like nowhere else to play unless you're playing like some punk rock, you know, Knights of Columbus show or something like that. So to be in a B market where you're wedged between all these cities, you know, you're only 3 hours from Boston, you're only 2 hours from Hartford, you're wedged between Albany and New York City, and to sell out a 1,000-person rock club, it's a very proud feeling, you know. And it's like, Chance is just always so perfect for us. Like, I mean, I've obviously worked there for years, as you know, but like, this is before then, and like we know all the security guards, we know all the sound guys, we know the lighting guy Bob for 15 years. You know, it's like, it's home. When I walk home, I can't remember the last time I even got asked for a ticket walking through the Chance store. I don't buy tickets. I just walk, hey guys, it's family. You know, it's always great to do good for family and know that, like, hey man, Frank's doing okay tonight too. We're all making money together.
Speaking of Chance family, has this tour taken you through Indianapolis yet?
We we picked up the bandwagon from a little west Indianapolis, but no, we need to see Chuck.
I was going to say, there are no Chuck Hicks sightings yet.
Sightings yet on this tour.
Yeah, Chuck. Love that guy.
Chuck might drive down to see us in Nashville because we're not playing the Indianapolis date. We get off before then. So it's only like 4 hours to Nashville. I'm trying to con him into come down to Nashville. I'll put him on the guest list.
Ryan, man! God, the next time I see him, he's going to kick my ass. All right, so let's wrap with this. You guys have put out some new merch. You've got Stories and Alibis on vinyl. People can pick it up at all the Warped Tour dates. And you have the... I didn't see it at the merch booth. Have you guys sold out of it yet? It's a Matchbook Romance kind of 3/4 length New York Rangers tee.
There's a variation design now. It's really nice.
The white stuff gets really dirty on the dusty days. And kids will do things like buy a brand new clean one, leave for an hour and come back and be like, this is dirty. And you end up losing a lot of white merchandise. You'll lose at least 2 or 3 per box just to the dirt. You lose money. So we transferred that to, it's got the circle small on the chest on a blue, like a heather blue tee, and then it's big on the back too. So we just made it a blue t-shirt instead because it was like plus 3/4 sleeves. It's hot on Warped Tour. Figured we, maximize them profits.
And if you want to see an example of the photo, I mean, obviously you can go to, is it matchbookromance.com?
Yeah, matchbookrock.com.
Matchbookrock.com. I'm an uncultured swine. You can track it down on the Facebook page or, the Shmonty Facebook page where I have to say, if I can be modest, I'm modeling it immaculately. It's sexy.
Really
it's sexy. If you guys want to use that photo to sell it.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure, didn't I repost that on our Instagram?
I think you did.
I'm pretty sure I did.
I put it on my Facebook.
Yeah, exactly. It was the first one I'd actually seen. Was your picture of you wearing it.
So for everybody out there who's looking to grab their hands on some limited Matchbook Romance stuff, make sure you go to all these Warped Tour dates, matchbookrock.com, to follow these guys. From what I'm hearing, Andrew, I don't know you too well. Ryan, I know you a little bit better, but I feel like we've got that 1260 fun vibe going on here. It seems like there's things coming down the pipe on the horizon.
Yeah, well, hopefully. We're just going to, like we said, play it by ear. Hopefully we don't end up hating each other by the end of the tour, and then just, and then we'll see everybody again in 3 years, 4 years, or whatever. But hopefully we can, just get some music together. I really don't need to tour. I would just be happy, playing music for people and releasing more for our fans.
It'd be cool to, put out music and just, go play a couple shows here and there, maybe, on this tour, there's places we haven't hit yet. There's places we haven't been in 9-10 years. So maybe we can go do things like play a show in Denver, play a show in Seattle, play Chicago. Just to it doesn't have to necessarily be a tour. Fly out and do it on a weekend. It could just be, it could be fun. It could be whatever we want it to be. This is our band. This is our business. It's our friendship, and it's our art, and we're just gonna have fun with it. Yeah. So that's as simple as it is. And if it's doesn't work, it doesn't work. But if the schedule doesn't allow for it, unfortunately, it's Andy's fault. He's the one that has kids. He's the one that has kids, not me. I look good. I'm 35. I'm ready to go.
Well, I know I speak for everybody out there when I say that. Fingers crossed. Ryan, Andrew, guys, thank you very much for the time.